A boy playing on the beach makes a shocking discovery that saved a life. The beach is synonymous to summer times, holidays, sunbathing, and a lot of fun. A place that reminds us of all the times we shared with family, friends, and loved ones. Memories dating all the way back to our childhood, and people still plan beach trips every year to make more of those memories. Enjoy the breeze one more time and recall childhood times by building our own dream castles out of sand. Today's story happened as a young boy was enjoying his time playing with sand on a California beach before making a discovery that saved a life. But before we start, make sure to subscribe if you haven't and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any new stories. It was a sunny day in Marina Dunes Beach, and people were enjoying the famous golden sands and cold breeze of the California shoreline. Among the beachgoers, there was an 11-year-old boy named Connor Fitzgerald, playing with his friends and having fun. Turning everything into a contest, Connor and his friends proceeded building sandcastles, then destroying them, before starting all over again. Just another sunny day for the boys, full of joy, fun, and laughter. After a while, the kids got bored of destroying castles and went further down the shoreline, where they decided the next contest would be digging holes. Determined to see who could dig the deepest pit, boys used their hands as well as plastic shovels to move as much sand as they could and as quickly as their little hands allowed them to. Fully engaged in the contest and doing his best to outdo his peers, Connor chose a spot and engaged in digging his own pit, trying to make it as deep as possible before his fingers hit something. Unlike the moist grains of sands, the obstacle impeded Connor from going deeper, and so he decided to dig it out of the sand so he could keep digging down. Connor decided to dig around the object so he could extract it, and as he was digging, it turned out that it was a backpack. Excited by his discovery, Connor tried to pull the bag out of the sand, but the straps were attached to something that was still buried in the sand. As he dug deeper to release the strap, Connor made a shocking discovery. The bag was still attached to a human being. Stupefied by his discovery, the boy started digging frantically to discover that the bag was attached to a little girl who was completely buried under the sand. Connor tried to look around for help, yet there were no adults nearby. Connor knew that the girl's life depended on him at that moment, and instead of freaking out, he proceeded moving as much sand as he could to fully uncover the girl's body. After cleaning the sand from around the girl's body, he dragged her out of the hole. The girl gave no signs of life and looked dead in her eyes. Nose and mouth were covered in sand. He sat there looking at the girl laying on the ground in front of him, wondering what he should do next. With no adults around to help the girl, or at least tell Connor what to do, he had to rely on himself, and all he knew was what he saw in a TV series called NCIS, where a character helped a dying person by performing CPR on him. Recalling the exact routine he saw on the TV, Connor tilted the girl's head back, cleared as much sand as he could off her nose and mouth, then started applying chest compressions on her, followed by several rescue breaths, and repeated that over and over again. As Connor was doing his best trying to help the little girl breathe again, he was surprised by a man and a woman running in his direction. They turned out to be the girl's parents, who were looking for their daughter before spotting her laying on the beach and a young boy performing CPR on her. They immediately called 911 and were told the paramedics were on their way to the accident scene. The girl that Connor was trying to save is Alessia Boston, who's only 5 years old. Alessia was the victim of a sand cave that was dug by someone else. The little girl was playing around before stepping on the sand cave that collapsed, dragging her down and burying her for several minutes before Connor discovered her by accident. After several minutes completely buried with the sand weight pushing down on her, Alessia stopped breathing, and her only chance was the 11-year-old boy doing everything he could to save her life. Shortly after Alessia's parents arrived, other people started noticing what was going on and started gathering around Connor and Alessia. Yet that didn't distract the boy who was relentlessly performing CPR on the lifeless girl, unperturbed by the fuss around them. Alessia's parents were extremely worried and scared, while people around them held hands and prayed for her life. Then the little girl suddenly gasped and coughed. The girl was still alive, and all the sadness turned into cheer. At that moment, the paramedics arrived and examined Alessia before rushing her to the hospital. Connor could finally stand back and watch the ambulance take Alessia to the hospital after he single-handedly saved Alessia's life. Yet it wasn't time for celebration yet, as the few minutes the little girl went without breathing could have caused permanent damage to her brain and other vital organs. Later on that day, as Connor was home with his family waiting for any news regarding Alessia's condition, they were told that the little girl finally woke up and spoke, and she would recover in a short time without any permanent damage to her body. At that day, Connor's actions and quick thinking saved Alessia's life, and his parents were so proud of their 11-year-old son who made all the right decisions in the absence of any adult to help or guide them. Connor's composure, quick thinking, and knowledge of CPR helped him overcome any emotions he might have felt and instead sprang into action, saving Alessia's life. Despite his young age, Connor was the right person to be at the right time to give Alessia a second chance at life and turn what could have been a tragedy into a celebration. The boy's heroic actions reminded us of the importance of teaching young kids the basics of life saving and survival, and raising a generation that can depend on themselves in the absence of adults. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and tell us what you think about it in the comment section below.